Welcome, everyone, live. It is Monday night with Janelle, with our hosts, Janelle, and everyone's favorite alien in a human suit, Ishi.
We come for Uranus.
Evening, everyone. I love that shirt, by the way. That is beautiful.
Yes, made that last night. As you can see here, show your support for Brandon,
Yes.
because we all know that in this day and age, the rallying cry of an entire generation is "Let's go, Brandon."
We want Brandon to go.
Yes.
I know you guys don't pay much attention to sports, but since I've moved back in to take care of my mom, she still watches football. It's hysterical. I mean, even the liberal colleges are chanting it in the crowd.
Really?
Yes, it's great.
Oh, that makes me so
So
happy.
this has kind of become a nonstop thing at sporting events.
Yeah, I actually do think, though, that a lot of these young people mean it.
I do
After all,
too.
he promised them free tuition and then he backed out, and now he's screwing them all.
Yeah.
He promised a whole lot of shit and he didn't deliver.
Dude, I can't even
Yeah.
watch
Well-
him anymore. Not because I get mad. I just feel kind of sad. It's like he's not there anymore.
No, he's not.
No. This is a presidency brought to you by Depends.
Mhm.
Yes. I
It
was
is
going to
that
say
simple.
ensure.
Ensure, yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So, what's tonight's topic?
Tonight's topic is, you'll have to forgive me. You just told me about 10 seconds ago and it totally went out of my head. So basically, it's 80s horror.
No, it isn't.
No. It's yes,
80s horror that has been remade, the classic 80 horrors that have been remade into horrifying reboots.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
horrifying reboots. Now, you wanted to do this one specifically, Janelle, because you saw the Chucky remake.
I did not see the Chucky remake. No, I
Oh.
refused to see that. I said that I had faith in the series again because the remake bombed so bad. They went back and got all the original cast members from the cliffhanger of Curse of Chucky and made a series on Sci-Fi. And are
Nice.
literally picking up from where Curse of Chucky left off. So, and it looks good.
So, is Glenn or Glenda going to show up?
They talk about Glenn and Glenda, but they haven't shown them yet. Like in Curse of Chucky, they talk about it.
Okay.
Actually, I'm shocked this is the Sci-Fi channel doing this.
I think I got a feeling just from seeing what happened with Dave Chappelle's The Closer, a lot of pop culture sites, a lot of pop culture channels that have all gone extremely left have finally woken up a bit. Like they've woken up from the woke and are starting to now shift the other way. Because there was some sort of walkout at Netflix over the controversy of Dave Chappelle's The Closer, and Netflix said bye Felicia and back Dave Chappelle. So,
Good.
yeah. And by the way, if you guys have not seen it yet, I highly recommend watching it. It is great.
Really? Oh, that's good
Yes.
to hear.
Yes, it is. So when I say cringy, I mean cringy for the left. It is beautiful for the rest of us non-PC people. It is so offensive. It's glorious.
Oh, nice. I think it's been a long time since I've seen something that was truly offensive.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen anything new that was actually funny.
Yeah.
Actually, all of Dave Chappelle's specials on Netflix have been pretty friggin' funny. Like Steve and I watched them and we can't stop laughing. He's basically the George Carlin of the Gen X generation.
I would have to
So,
agree with that.
He
Yeah.
is our
Nice.
George Carlin. And George Carlin was awesome. I'm so thankful I got to see him.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So,
jealous.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll tell the story real quick and then we'll go to the 80s. You guys will like this. So Steve and I were on our way to vacation in Vegas just on a whim, and we stopped at State Line, and I literally stuck a quarter in a machine and got $400. So we drove into Vegas, found out Carlin was in town, and the tickets were pricey. It was Carlin. So I got us tickets to go see Carlin. So it was meant to be.
Nice. It was meant to be. You were blessed by Carlin.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, that was probably the best comedy show I've ever been to.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm totally jealous.
All right, I'm done derailing. Let's get to it.
All right. So we're talking classic films from the 80s that for some reason they thought, hey, let's remake this.
Yeah.
And what was it really? I mean, so was it strictly the Chucky thing that got you on this path, or were there others you really just had an axe to grind?
I think the biggest axe to grind for me came when they remade Nightmare on Elm Street. That did not need to be touched at all. They were trying to capitalize on the popularity of Jackie Earle Haley at the time frame because of Watchmen and little children. And it just, I refused to see it, and I heard it was a pile of shit. And they went more into, you know how you never saw, you just guessed that Freddie was a pedophile, and
Right.
that's why all the parents went batshit. Oh no, it was explicit that he was a pedophile, and he was the janitor or the gardener at the elementary school, and he'd take the kids to his little shed and molest them. Like, ew, no, we didn't need to see it. It was the thing I liked about Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddie was always this mystery, and the parents were just as psychotic in a sense as Freddie because they all went batshit and stuffed him in a furnace and burned him alive.
Which is what I liked about the original, is that it doesn't matter how much of a monster Freddy was. These good people of the neighborhood decided to have vigilante justice, which, in a good society, no, that makes them just as bad, if not worse.
Oh yeah, it even shows the fallout from that with Nancy's parents. Her dad's the chief of police who helped
John
lead.
Saxton, you cannot top him.
No.
No, you can't. Enter the Dragon. His hairy chest and Enter the Dragon. That's all I got to say. It was just as hairy as Chuck Norris's in Return.
Wow.
So the chief of police helped lead the mob along with his wife. His wife became a raging alcoholic, and she kept basically fetishes. She kept his hat and his original glove in the boiler. I mean, it just showed how fucked up that the parents were from doing this vigilante justice, and why they all started like kind of going batshit again when their kids were being killed in even more gruesome ways with no one around as proof.
No.
So you saw the review that,
Yeah, I saw Cinema Snob doing it. So I have not actually watched the movie, but I've watched a very extensive review
and
of it.
strangely, he liked it.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got weird tastes.
Well, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, actually, just you look at the subtext, other than the fact that it has some 80s horror tropes, it's actually a good film.
Well, I would say the thing about Nightmare on Elm Street, why you should not remake that film, is it definitely is a creature of the 80s. The setting, the subject matter, it was that era in which there was, again, there's all these cultural aspects that don't exist anymore. And at the time, there was all that paranoia about child abduction. Do you remember? And then there was the satanic panic, and there was just the fear that things were going on behind closed doors.
Mhm.
There was also that weird phenomenon that helped shape the story where a bunch of teenagers had died in their sleep for no reason.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
And with, I don't know, with the way that kids are so homebound these days, in a lot of ways it doesn't resonate. It doesn't really translate.
No, I mean, think about it. How many these kids were all sleeping over at each other's houses, hanging out at places, you know. I just I remember maybe I'm thinking of the wrong Nightmare on Elm Street, but I swear there was a sleepover at one point.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
was a pool party, and then there was also this, it almost had this 90210 feel to it.
Yes. It was Main Street America, but
And
not
then
necessarily Midwestern.
but Monster in Their Dreams.
Yes.
Yeah, and the America that they're portraying doesn't exist anymore. So again, the monster doesn't quite translate.
No.
And so, yeah, why even bother remaking it?
Simple. They were looking for a quick cash. I mean, that's what all these remakes are. And instead, like I said, they are an insult to the originals. They all are. I mean, there was the I think before Nightmare on Elm Street, they did the Friday the 13th remake, which Steve and I went and saw, and it was okay. It wasn't great. But, Rob Zombie also remade Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. And
It's like, why?
yeah, I mean, that took the mystery away from Michael Myers when you gave him a backstory. Like any other horror movie about a psychotic kid, it would have been great, but not Michael Myers.
Here's Zombie's problem. He can set up a shot. He can tell a narrative. He can make it look damn good. Don't write the script, fucker. Do not write the script.
And stop casting your wife in every fucking movie.
Yeah.
I love Sherry Zombie, but I'm over Sherry Zombie.
So the remake of Friday the 13th, another one I haven't seen, what'd they do with it?
It was more that I don't think it was his mother this time. It was his sister. And he ends up kidnapping Jared Padalecki's sister and keeping her thinking that it's his sister. And Jerry Padalecki has to go and rescue his sister, is what it is. That's literally what it is his sister disappears. And they have the trope of the rich East Coast kids going out to a mountain chalet. So there's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and everybody gets killed in funny, creative ways. And there's the gratuitous sex scene with bouncing tits. Well, I will give that 2 thumbs up. Because it's funny, too, because the guy that's getting humped is like, your tits are stupendous. They're fantastic. Like, the whole time he's getting laid, he is just going on about this chick's breast. And he's cheating on his girlfriend, who he drunkenly thinks has gone off with Jared Padalecki, but they're actually trying to rescue the sister. So then he cheats on his girlfriend with, the girlfriend's rival, which leads up to more shenanigans. So they tried to even capture the whole joke that was Friday the 13th of, the camper screwing around with big boobs.
Yeah.
But that was honestly, don't laugh. That was like the only part of the movie I liked. Was the boobs and the bouncing tits with all the adjectives for them.
Well, we were talking about Friday the 13th earlier today, and we kind of both agreed that I think that is the one film where you could remake it and recast the killer as a woman, and it would actually be interesting.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. The original killer was a woman. It was his mom.
Exactly.
And I mean, I thought it was kind of cool that was the twist. And then they went on with her son getting revenge. And then they just had a whole bunch of cheesy movies that I adore.
It's kind of up there with, in today's wonderfully progressive society, everyone wants to forget Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my God, Sleepaway Camp is so fucking good. I really hope they never remake that movie.
I do
they would
too.
Just destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I think with modern politics, that's one of those films that I don't think it could remake it, honestly.
No.
Just like Silence of the Lambs. I mean, in Silence of the Lambs, the villain's fucked up because he wants a woman's suit. Today, that would be considered, oh, well, he's just normal.
No, today it's give him a grant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, without really ruining the twist, the person would be probably by the writers considered more the victim than the aggressor. So that would ruin the whole point of the film.
Oh, it's self-defense.
Yeah. That movie was definitely not self-defense, though. God, no. I love that movie. That one and Night of the Demons. You want to talk about an 80s film that I also hope never gets remade. Night of the Demons. I tell you what, I have never seen lipstick used in such a creative way before.
I thought that Night of the Demons had to have been the most authentic sleepover movie I have ever seen. It's like, wow, this is exactly what they're actually like. Okay.
Yeah, lots of booze, lots of making out. You had a couple of couples go off and like fuck in another room. Yeah, it was literally junk food and booze and dancing and bullshitting.
Yep.
Those were the parties I went to, unless they were massive kegers. Then it was break all the shit that you can and try and stand up straight after doing a keg stand.
Never went to one of those parties. No, I take that back. I did. Your cousin at your sister's wedding reception.
Oh.
That was interesting. Anyway.
See, there you go. If you would remake it, Buffalo Bill would have to be on TikTok.
Yeah.
That would be fucking hysterical.
I like that he called him a TikTok thought.
Yeah. He'd be on TikTok singing to Psyche.
He would be.
The wild horses.
Yeah.
Samuli is saying I've jinxed everything now. I've willed everything that I've bitched about into existence. Sorry, guys. My bad.
Yeah, Night of the Demon, getting back to that, one of the things that's interesting about Night of the Demon,
besides Rue McClanahan's niece.
Yeah, Rue McClanahan's niece, is it's one of the few films that truly looks authentically 80s. I mean, it was made in the 80s, but I mean, it didn't overdo it. It really did look the way it did back then.
Yeah.
The other thing is it broke a lot of the rules that we've come to expect.
Mm-hmm.
The black guy didn't die.
No, he didn't.
Mm-mm.
And the asshole boyfriend actually turns out to be heroic.
Wait, are you sure? Oh no,
No.
I'm thinking there was 2 asshole boyfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the other one that becomes Linnea Quigley's victim, which was like one of the funniest deaths I've ever seen.
No, the one that was a dick to the girl's brother.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He actually was not a douchebag after
Right.
all. He just fronted that he was a douchebag.
Real quick, just a passerby has dubbed you the Chaos Magician.
I am Lord of Entropy. Thank you.
But yeah, Night of the Demon is great. Actually, I think it's a great double feature with Mirror Mirror, if you've ever seen it.
I have not seen Mirror Mirror.
No, Mirror Mirror and The Craft go side by side.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, from time periods. Yeah.
I like to watch Night of the Demons 1 and 2 together. Because the second one's actually pretty damn good too, in a different way. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay, so it follows Angela's sister, and Angela, it's going to spoil. Basically, Angela goes to the dark side, and she gets brought back, and so she goes to find her sister to start some shenanigans and get more power. And it's on Halloween night at a co-ed private school. So now you have the Catholic school kid shenanigans going on. So 80s, and also it has, what's her name? Ben Stiller's wife, the really hot blonde. She played Marsha Brady in the remake of The Brady Bunch. Christine something.
It says Christy Harris?
No, she played
Christy
the bitch.
Taylor?
Yeah, Christine Taylor. She was the bitch in The Craft that had her hair fall out.
Oh,
She's also in Night of the Demons. And she doesn't play a bitch. She actually plays a very nice person.
Oh, wow.
very cool. So should we bring up The Thing remake or a prequel?
I refuse to see it.
I refuse to acknowledge that it exists. And not because they thought of it. The actual high concept of, well, what happened at that base, I'm actually all for. The problem is that that film is never going to be made right in this day and age. Hollywood has too many problems. You need a cinema cowboy like Carpenter to get out there and actually do a real story.
Or he could have just, if he'd done, I think if he would have done it, he probably would have treated it the same as Escape from LA. Like, let's spoof this movie. I would have been down for that too, actually.
Well, one of the interesting things about the, I guess the prequel to The Thing was we were apparently all the effects were originally practical effects. And then
In the prequel?
Well, the one that they made recently.
Okay.
And then in the 11th hour, they said, no, let's make them all CGI.
Why?
And it's like, yeah, why would you do that? Okay. So the redeeming quality is there's a film called Harbinger Down. Have you seen this?
No.
Harbinger Down, it's an indie film by with Lance Hendrickson in it. It was a Kickstarter film. And what it was the effects house that had done all the effects for the prequel, right?
Mm-hmm.
That then got replaced with CGI. They're like, well, shit, we've got all these effects that the studio paid for but didn't use. So they raised the money and shot their own film that's a kind of a tribute to The Thing. About this icebreaker ship up in the I think it's up in the Arctic, and it gets stuck in the ice, and they come across a crashed satellite. And
the description here says it's a frozen Soviet space shuttle.
yeah,
Ooh, it sounds kind of like a futuristic version of The Terror. I don't know if you guys ever read or saw or heard of The Terror.
no.
Well, wait, do you mean the movie with Jack Nicholson?
If that's the one that's based on the true story where two ships get caught trying to do the Northern Passage.
Oh no, I've actually got a book on that
Yeah, I
incident.
read it. I read one of the books on it. Holy shit, the fact that that's a true story. Woof.
Yeah, it's one of these things where again, two ships tried to make the Northwest Passage, and they didn't make it, and they found one ship in the late 1800s, and they didn't find the other one until, what was it, the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't find the other one until the 60s.
And they definitely feel there were supernatural shenanigans going on with those two ships. Like, it's creepy stuff.
It is creepy stuff.
It definitely has some vibes like that in the film. But the cool thing is it's an okay story. I mean, it's enjoyable. I mean, I wouldn't call it a classic, but it is an enjoyable film. Cool story, great acting with Lance Hendrickson. You can't go wrong. And then the effects are fucking incredible.
Well, the screenshots you were just looking at were, well, if you've seen The Thing, you know what this, you know the quality that the that you're in for with this.
And I don't
and
recall,
they live up to it.
But I believe they imply that the monster was a mutated water bear, a DNA.
Oh, that's crazy. I love it. I love it. Water bears are scary and twisted and cute at the same time with that proboscis that comes out of their mouth.
Have you seen Z Frank's video on them?
No, I have not. I've seen Tear Zoo's video because I watched it with Chris.
I will send you Z Frank's video.
So yeah, I would recommend, if you want to see a decent horror film, indie made, doesn't have any of the woke shit, Harbinger down.
All right.
And yeah, come on, it's got Lance Hendrickson.
I like him. I like him a lot. Pretty much every movie he's in, he nails it. Even the shitty Alien versus Predator, the only part of the movie that I liked is when he showed up.
What was great was the audio drama adaptation of William Gibson's original script for Alien 3.
We could have gotten such a good film.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh my God, my heart just broke.
Yeah.
Did you know about that?
No.
The original Alien 3 script was by William Gibson. It's a totally different movie.
Completely.
It really feels like a spiritual successor to Aliens, or a continuation.
Actually, it felt to me more like Alien Isolation.
Well, Alien Isolation very much borrowed from it.
Yeah.
Very, very much borrowed from it.
I love that game, but I could not finish it. It scared the shit out of me. I couldn't do it.
The plot is the Nostromo is on its way back, and it's heading towards this space station. It's kind of like a Babylon 5 type port where, you know, all these different nations dock there. And the Nostromo shows up, and aliens are loose on the station.
Wait, the Nostromo, or is it the
Oh, not the Nostromo, the Sulaco. Yeah, the Sulaco shows up.
Yeah.
The Sulaco shows up, and they get to the base, and aliens are there.
Yeah, they're already there.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Could you imagine how battle weary Ripley would be? And she's got Hicks, who's half mutilated.
Well, that's actually one of the, I honestly think that's why the film didn't get made, is because his script, Ripley's barely in it.
Yeah.
She
you can't do that.
Well, no. What it is at the end, they get there, and I believe what it was that she was doped up to the gills from everything that had happened. And so was Newt. So it was just Hicks. And,
oh my God, that would have been great. Michael Biehn is so good.
And Ripley does wake up for a little bit, but she's totally screwed up. So they have to put her back under. But the majority of the plot goes back and forth between Hicks on the station with a bunch of scientists
Mhm.
who are kind of peaceniks and hate him. Okay.
Jesus.
And then on the other side of the station,
Mhm.
they're dealing with this colony that went off and became Soviets. And so not only are the two sides fighting, but you've got aliens.
Oh my gosh.
And
So
And the
hippies versus communists, and then aliens thrown into the mix, and
and
poor Hicks
one
by
soldier.
himself
Right.
and
and wounded to the gills from acid.
Right.
So like half his face is melted off at this point.
Right.
And for the audio drama, they couldn't get the actor, I can't remember his name, who played Hicks. So, but they got Lance Hendrickson. So instead, it's Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop actually has a pretty big part in it as well, even though he's torn in half.
Mhm. In this, they repaired him.
Yeah.
Well, they could. They had the parts. So
that was kind of interesting, and it is a cool story,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
it
God,
definitely is
that
more of an
hurts.
action movie. And it introduced things that other alien films then used and didn't do it very well.
Mhm.
And one of the things that introduced that they should have kept was that what it was an escape pod had arrived from LV. Oh God, the number
426.
Yeah, one of the escape pods from the colony had arrived before the Sulaco.
Oh shit. So the infected got off the planet and were able to
Right.
spread it.
And there was this thing where the aliens started mutating. And so the original strain and the mutated strain start fighting too.
Why did we not get this? This is so unfair.
Yeah, I know.
And I was going to say, to get Sigourney Weaver, just like they paid her like $2 or $3 million to shave her head, they probably would have paid Sigourney Weaver $2 to $3 million to stay asleep through the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And she would have done it.
So yeah, I would, I'll go grab the link, even though I'm supposed to be advertising our books, but we'll get to that.
Well,
Okay,
are you grabbing the audio from Audible?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But this is still on topic
Yeah.
because this is, I mean, for lack of better terms, I mean, they keep trying to remake the first two Alien films over and over again and failing horribly. So
They
and
can't.
this was not a remake.
no.
They can't, because those movies are literally flavored by the writers and directors. Like you had Dan O'Bannon and Ridley Scott and who is the other guy? Shit. I know Mobius and Guy Giger were the ones that designed everything.
Yeah.
But Dan O'Bannon and Ridley Scott really made that claustrophobic psychological fear for Alien. And then James Cameron, who, in my opinion, is the master of blending sci-fi and horror, created Aliens.
Oh, another thing that I really appreciated was just to show how much of a geek William Gibson was. He kept the things that were unmentioned in Aliens. And that is, there was a lot of things in Aliens that was never mentioned, but was the logic behind why things were happening. And one of them was the idea was the first film, that was a drone. And that the aliens that they were facing in the second film were warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And that the drones primarily tended the hive. So the reason the ones in the second film were so damn aggressive is they were bigger, they had a different head, and they had a stinger. And Gibson kept that.
See, I liked the warrior cast that Cameron put into Aliens. And my mom loved the Alien Queen. She thought that was like the best part of the movie, and the design for that was brilliant. And I like the fact that there was a caste system that Cameron implemented. I'm glad to hear that Gibson kept that.
And
I just wanted to add real quick, what was great about the Warrior Queen is, the Alien Queen is that Giger didn't design her. That was something that Cameron and his team came up with, but they sent it to Giger saying, "Hey, do we have your blessing?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, that looks awesome."
Nice.
Yeah, he showed it to Giger for approval.
Yeah.
And Giger said, "Oh, yeah, that's good. I like it." Yeah. Which, you know how we felt about Alien 3.
Yeah.
Oh, Giger? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he pissed about the dog alien?
Oh,
Yeah.
And just the whole movie in general?
Mm-hmm.
his concept was so cool, and they didn't use it.
With the bovine?
No, his dog alien concept was cool.
Yes.
And they didn't use it. The dog alien for Alien 3 that Giger had designed had it looked a little bit like what we got in the film, except that its face, it had the domed head, the mouth was a pair of female lips.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking wrong. I love it.
Full, very luscious, feminine lips, and the mouth, they would peel back, and behind the teeth, what it would do is it would kiss. It would actually full on kiss its victim.
Mm-hmm.
And this is fucked. It had a 3-foot tongue of barbed needles that it would shove down the throat, and then they'd spike out and yank.
Did he reuse that for Species?
Yes, yeah. And yank, but they didn't use it in Species either.
No, they didn't.
And it would yank the victim's insides out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not surprising considering the fact that Giger's art was all about like twisted sexuality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like his designs for the original Dune, like the penile designs that the Harkonnens had for their ships and stuff. Yeah. Oh no, wait, it wasn't. It was also the sand. One of my icons that I used on this show. The icon was the penis-headed sandworm with another penis shooting out of its mouth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got that. You had the original opening for the in Alien, the spacecraft. It looked like a vag.
Yes.
But just the idea that, we'd seen the alien. How do you top that? How do you, we've seen them as aggressive. Okay, where do we take it now? It would have been so fucked up if, you see this dog alien, grab the victim by all fours like it did in the film, right? And instead of, just chewing the person up like it did in the film, instead it just sits there and then starts to you see this pair of lips, and it starts kissing the victim, and then it gets real nasty.
Doggo kisses.
Yeah.
Actually, I really wish they would have done that. But the third movie had so much that I can't put it into words. God, when I get so pissed about something, I can't think.
I'm with you on that. And there are certain things where I can't think about them too much because I will get into that state. Kind of had that earlier today with fucking that mom comic. Anyway.
Oh God, I forgot you. Because of everything that's going on, I've really been living under a pop culture rock. Like I haven't even been able to listen to your guys' shows, so I don't even know what's going on with Mom.
Oh,
but
there will be more to it. How many more do you need? Like 3, 4 more reviews?
Let's see.
But the other one that's getting me is I'll admit I made the mistake of having hope with the Ghostbusters film. I started to, hear that the critics were actually pissed off that it wasn't woke enough for them. So it's like, okay.
The Guardian gave it 1 star. That was a good sign.
It's like, maybe this will be good. And then we did some extensive research into it. And it's like, no, damn, I should not have gotten my hopes up. So.
Oh no, because I'm taking my son to see that. He's going as Spangler for Halloween.
Nice.
Oh, awesome!
Egon was one of my first loves. He totally was. I also, whenever we played Ghostbusters on the playing field at age 4, I was always Egon. So
I'll still take him to see it. Hopefully, since he's not as jaded as I am, he'll enjoy it anyway.
Well, what it looks like to me is it looks like apparently, and from what I've heard, the first half of it plays kind of like a tribute to Steven Spielberg 80s films with, Goonies and E.T. Okay. A bit of, I guess, what? It.
Stand By Me?
Yeah, It. Maybe.
So it's kids on an adventure. And then apparently near the second act, the old cast shows up and it becomes Ghostbusters.
No, say what it was that made us both go, okay, no.
A scene with all these really cute little Stay Puft Marshmallow Mans invading a supermarket.
Well, that too. That and the producer
Oh no, the director.
or director. The director.
The director made Juno.
Yeah.
That's why we're worried.
Oh, okay. Well, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, the little ones,
Yeah.
Chris really liked that, especially the one that kept getting barbecued by the other ones. He couldn't stop laughing, and
Oh,
he
I
walked.
didn't see that.
Oh,
Yeah,
the trailer we
they
saw didn't show that.
Yeah, I'll
oh
have to
no,
see
they
that.
they skewer one of the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, the other Marshmallow Men, and then they start roasting him on a fire. And Chris kept rewinding that scene on YouTube and rewatching it and
Okay, I'm gonna
laughing
have to
his
see
ass
that
off.
trailer.
I was like,
Okay, I still have hope that it isn't gonna suck ass, but I gotta.
I'm more salty than he is, but you know, I love Ghostbusters.
I still have faith because I don't think Ivan Reitman would let his
son wreck it.
legacy. Yeah, because the reason being, Harold Ramis. They are not going to want to fuck this up because this is basically like in a way for Harold Ramis, especially because it's his grandkids are now the legacy. And can you imagine the amount? And there's like a hardcore amount of Ghostbuster fans out there. Like, I think all of us who grew up in the 80s, like, that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest movies. If you fuck that up, you're toast. Like, I'm sorry, you just lost everyone because all those people are going to tell their kids, don't see that person's movie. Like,
Well-
don't see any of their movies.
Well, long as it doesn't fall into that Juno hipster territory, I'll
Yeah.
that's my concern.
I hope I am wrong. I 100% hope I am wrong. I hope that it is a good film.
Well, I am still going to go in cautiously optimistic, and I have to be because, like I said, my kid is really wanting to see this. In
Well-
fact, he now has a huge Slimer plushie that vibrates when you hug it, and he sticks
Oh,
it behind his back on the chair so Slimer will massage his back while he's doing homework.
that's adorable.
So yeah, I got to create a little like
Okay,
baby
I see the
backpack.
trailers.
But yeah, please let us know what you think of it when you go.
Okay, I
Yeah, and
will.
you gotta wonder. I mean, Bill Murray did agree to do it, which is a good sign.
Yeah,
That and apparently he did his own thing.
you know, there are a lot of things to say that you can have hope. It's just I don't know. I'm very salty when it comes to this particular franchise. I mean, I avoided the Ghostbusters video game until I found out that all 4 of them were in it, plus most of the cast. The only one who didn't come back was Sigourney Weaver. And when I played the video game, I was so glad I was wrong and that it was like the greatest thing ever. In fact, I'm on my 3rd playthrough right now, actually.
I have never played it. Every time I tried to play it, it would glitch out on me on my Xbox.
Oh no.
So, and that sucked because I was so excited. To me, that was the real sequel.
It is.
Yeah, until now this one, and maybe hopefully, fingers crossed, because and by the way, this still sticks with 80s horror because this was an actual horror comedy.
Yes, it
I
was.
can remember as a kid, there would be scenes in that movie that scared the piss out of me. The librarian at the beginning of that movie screaming in their faces, like as a 5-year-old, or I think it was like 5 or 6 when it came out.
Mhm.
Holy shit, dude. Like, I really never wanted to like go into creepy libraries. In fact, I hated going into the basement of the library at SDSU because of that fucking movie. Like, when I was going to SDSU, I hated that library because of that damn movie. And I hated going into when they still had you had to go through the cards and the drawers. It's just like, oh God, I don't want to do this.
My mom is a librarian. And when I'd go visit her at work, she still had a card catalog. And like, even though it was like broad daylight with all the lights on, I'd like eye them as a kid. It's like, don't move with that. You know, I see you.
Yeah, it's the same way.
But yeah, the library actually I think was the scariest part of the film. I mean, the terror dog in the kitchen I think is the second scariest scene. But God, that film was just so amazing. And I am determined to one day build myself a proton pack, but in order to make it correct, that's going to be an investment. And I'm not ready to do that yet. Although I did break down and get the components to make myself a trap. So I'll be posting pictures of that soon.
Nice.
So I'm looking at trailers. I have not found a Marshmallow Man getting roasted. I see one getting tossed in a blender.
I'm sorry, just took a drink. I have not seen that. Like I said, I saw the one that got skewered because, like I said, Chris was dying. Nort laughing.
I gotta be upfront. This really does seem like it has more of a Gremlins Goonies vibe to it.
I like the temple to Gozer there. That's pretty cool. I mean, that actually makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm trying. There was something else too that was really funny in the trailer that I watched with Chris.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the things I was kind of annoyed at was in some of the trailers, you'd see these terror dogs running around town. And I was like, oh, this is totally going to suck, because there was a reason why you had terror dogs. They were, statues, but they were also possessed people. And, there was a whole mythology around it. And so this is going to suck that they just happened to show up. But in this one trailer that Ishii's playing, you see this temple to Gozer, and there are statues of terror dogs in there. I'm like, okay, never mind. They've just now explained why there's terror dogs.
So what if it turns out that this was like it was Shandor's getaway?
Yeah. Oh, I would totally believe that. I mean, considering Shandor's kind of based on real people, so.
And that's why Egon bought the farm, so he could guard it until he passed away.
Until he bought the farm.
Yeah, until he literally bought the farm.
But okay, I'm cautiously optimistic again.
See, you got to understand, I'm actually more forgiving than Kat is. At this point, she's grim and bitter.
I am very grim and bitter. What's the topic of tonight's, conversation? It's how they've taken these beloved properties and tried to, rape as many dollars out of it as possible without any substance. So, you start, playing with something near and dear to my heart, the Ghostbusters, I get a little bitter.
Well, I think we can all agree that no matter what happens, it isn't going to be as bad as 2016.
No.
It will not be the abomination of 2016.
Actually, 2016, the only reason why I didn't become homicidal with that is because it was so trying too hard to be all progressive and girl power and everything. And then you had like Chris Hemsworth, who was supposed to be the beautiful but dumb one, but he'd steal the show every time he was on screen.
It's because he's the only one on that movie that was funny.
Yeah,
he's actually funny in real life.
Yeah, he's naturally funny, which is why he could play Thor the way he did. He comedically, he can use his body to, tell jokes without saying anything. And no matter what, no matter how woke they want to be, girls are in the theaters to see him, not the chick busters,
Well, I think what really I wasn't going to see it, but when I really just was like, dude, I hope this movie crashes and burns, is in the trailer when Kate McKinnon licks her proton pack pistol. I was like, fuck this movie.
It's like, really?
And then what killed me even more is on social media, a lot of people I knew, a lot of friends were trying to mimic her character's hairstyle. I had to take a break from Facebook because I was watching all these moms mimic Kate McKinnon and her hairstyle. And I was like, and to me, the movie looked like it was a Wes Anderson version of Ghostbusters with the mousy Kristen wig and just,
See, this is what we should have done, is you two doing a hate fest on 2016.
Oh God, that movie is an insult. I was mad, and I have another friend. My other friends that live in Arizona that I came to visit too. He is probably the biggest Ghostbuster fan I know. He's got a shit ton of memorabilia. He has it memorized front to back. And man, you want to see somebody who was pissed about that movie. Like, we called it the abortion.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So just out of curiosity, guys, what do you think of this Brandon shirt that we're advertising here? Just curious. I mean, really, I kind of put a lot of effort into this. What do you think of Let's Go, Brandon?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's see.
Aren't they remaking Saw? What?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, fucking A.
With Chris Rock.
Why? When you got to, like, sequel number 20, I mean, what's the point of a remake? It's just another sequel, really. Another shitty sequel that nobody cares about. The original was perfect. Actually, the original was absolutely perfect. I highly recommend it to every person who loves horror. Go see the original. Fuck the other ones.
The twist at the end, even though I knew what the twist was, I didn't know how it was executed. And I really did have a jaw drop moment and go, holy shit, no way.
Same here, actually. It's like, okay, I know Carrie Elways is gonna chop his foot off, but what exactly is going to occur to convince him that this is a good idea?
Yeah, well, I also knew that Tobin Bell was Jigsaw because you didn't know that until the end, but the way it was shown, it's like, I did not see that coming, even though I knew what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so a couple things to bring up. I brought this up last week, but I want to do it one more time. And first off, we, for those who don't know, we lost a listener last week. One of the guys that you all saw in the chat quite regularly. He made all those wonderful collages I was using for banners. His name is Mike Dennis. And Mike was a real good guy. And unfortunately, he passed away due to, I believe, pneumonia. He had been suffering lung problems for most of his life. And so we, I guess, what would be the appropriate send-off for a listener? We're not Razor Fist, so we won't say Godspeed. Fly your freak flag.
What do people say on your planet?
It's telepathic. There are no words.
That's true.
So
moment of silence.
Yeah, just F. Yeah, hit F for Mike. Mike Dennis was a good guy. Second, Wolf here has something to say.
Okay. Wolf says, not to derail this conversation, but my work is mandating the vaccine and I'm still unvaxxed. I refused. They had me fill out a religious exemption. I'm casting the die on that.
Wolf, have you been watching the stuff on Project Veritas, all the undercover stuff? Highly recommend it. If you ever wanted convincing why you did not want that, yeah, that's it. So good for you.
I was also going to say, Wolf, the majority of people I know are not vaxxed. I chose to get vaxxed. I'd never forced the vax on anyone. Like I said, I chose to get vaxxed so I could go back to fighting, which didn't happen. But yeah, the majority of people I know aren't vaxxed, so you stick with that.
Yeah. And yes, if you're conservative or at least just not a Democrat, come to Arizona. We need you. And yeah, no masks here, no vaxes. Governor's already said you cannot fire someone for being unvaccinated. So that's that.
They speak the truth. It was glorious in March to not wear a mask while walking down the street. It was beautiful.
Second, we got a few other quick announcements. I would say on the top of that list is that we have something new available, and it isn't a Let's Go Brandon shirt. It is Whispers from the Abyss. Why don't you talk about that, Kat?
Well, for those of you who may not be familiar, Whispers from the Abyss is our anthology series. We had 2 volumes, 1 and 2, which are currently available on Amazon right this very moment. Type in Whispers from the Abyss. I know there's a lot of things that have popped up since we published these that have similar names. So if you type in then my name, Kat Rocha, you will come up with both volumes. But
it's still up at the top.
Oh, good. Okay. When I do it, it hasn't been pulling it up, but
Really?
yeah. But regardless, we have just released the audio version of some of our favorite stories from volumes 1 and 2, with narration by the incredibly talented Lance Axe, who also was instrumental for Titanium Rain.
Yeah, he played Alec.
Mhm.
And yeah, Lance does such an awesome job on it. And the thing is, I've got Death War Grease Paint. Lance does a full reading of it. It's an hour and a half long,
Mhm.
and he
Oh,
does
God.
an awesome job.
I can already hear it in my head.
Oh my God, he did such a good job
He
of
did.
mimicking Steve-O.
I love that story so much.
It's even funnier in audio. It really is.
I actually started snort laughing when the intern came out having to wear the KY jelly. I was dying. This was not what I was not expecting that story to be as hysterical as it was. Like, that needs to be
Thank
made
you.
into a movie.
You know, I think it would work as a Masters of Horror episode, like an hour long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Second, Kat's got a story on this as well.
Yes, I do, actually.
Her one and only published story.
And it shows my love of Egyptology. So
It's also got stories by Laird Barron,
Mhm.
Cody Goodfellow, Orrin Gray,
Mhm.
and a few other names, but those are the big names on there as
Mhm.
well. So yeah, highly recommended. If you are not someone who has time to sit down and read a book, this is the way to go. Hopefully, before the year is over, Lance will have Scars in audio for me as well. And
Really?
please, because Audible's not treating us very well, please repost this, let people know it's available.
no, you Audible or YouTube?
Audible isn't. You have to punch in the entire name before it will come up in a search.
Mm.
But finally,
And thank you, Samuel I. And thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Yes?
what's this? Leaving those reviews on Amazon, people. Yes, absolutely. Definitely leave the reviews for the Titanium Rain audio, by the way, on Audible. Because, yeah, that again, it's the same thing. We need reviews. That is such a big deal. Last, we only need 3 more reviews of Scars before we officially launch Adventures in Awful.
Mom.
So, yeah.
Ugh.
And now that we have got the channel set up on Odyssey, by the way, all 12 episodes, including the infamous Kim and Kim episode, are now available on Odyssey. Let me put up the link. So I recommend everyone go subscribe to it so you get emails for every time we do a new fully produced Adventures in Awful. This isn't going to be us reading live. This is going to be the fully edited, memified versions.
Mhm.
And yes, go take a look at Kim and Kim. That killed me that most of you didn't get to see that. Second, because, well,
At this point, it's number 5. You keep saying and second.
oh, number 5, whatever. Next. Did you know that Nadine's Nerdland, most of those have been pulled off of this channel, and I didn't know. So
Wait, even the Dune review?
that's still there.
But the one about the hedgehog is gone.
A lot of the older reviews have all gotten old Nadine episodes have been pulled down. In fact, I was going through and seeing a lot of our live chats have all gone down as well.
Really?
Episodes are disappearing.
Wow.
Yeah, this channel's doomed. We're gonna have to start a new one.
Mhm.
Amazon, or not Amazon, YouTube really wants to get rid of us. It's that simple. So
Wolf 10 is a sweet, unvexed werewolf.
yeah. So
Oh,
Nadine's
wait.
Nerdland.
Yes?
Oh, no, I was going to say we forgot one that got remade, but it was in the 70s. So I remember Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then they remade it like 3 years ago with the
They did.
actress. You guys don't remember that?
No.
They remade it on live TV with Laverne Cox, the trans woman actress from Orange is the New Black.
No.
She was Dr. Frankenfurter, and it was sanitized for live cable television.
What's
And
the
it came out on
point?
Halloween.
I mean, why even bother?
Yeah.
Yes, they actually remade that. And Tim Curry came back, but he was Dr. Scott this time, and it was really sad. It's like you could see that they forced him to do it because he had just had his stroke and he could barely talk.
Oh, geez. That gets me mad. You know?
That is complete bullshit.
Yeah, I thought that one was I thought that was going to be untouchable because that movie is so wonderful culturally for the whole freak flag flying, and then they came and remade it and they sanitized it.
Fuck Hollywood, seriously. This is why you've got to buy and support indie stuff. It's the only way you're
Amen.
going to get anything good.
Speaking of, real quick, have you seen Shock Treatment?
No, I haven't heard of Shock Treatment.
You haven't? Oh my god, it's the I can't remember what his name is, the creator of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, got a
I have
picture of
heard of
that?
Shock Treatment. I have not seen it. I know what you were talking about now.
You need to see it. It's like Rocky Horror Picture Show mixed with Max Headroom.
I need to see that.
Yes,
That
you
sounds
do.
great.
It is amazing. I'm not really one for musicals. In fact, even Rocky Horror for me, I got a little bored and annoyed with it. No, Shock Treatment, I love every single song. I love every single everything about it.
Well, I'm not a musical person either, but I did find the majority of the songs in Rocky Horror very funny. They're so perverse. But yeah, the time warp kind of lost me. Like all my friends were up and dancing. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Now, see, that's funny because as a kid, my mom's boyfriend, when I was 7, had a Dr. Demento best of collection, and one of the songs on there was the Time Warp. So I knew the Time Warp from when I was 7. So when I was 13 at a slumber party, and the girl whose birthday it was put on Rocky Horror, and when the Time Warp came on, I'm like, holy crap, I know what this is. So that was odd.
All right. So one more time, all the links are in the description. If you want any of these things, please go buy and review Scars. We only need 3 more before we have officially hit that magic number of 50, when I said that I would, in earnest, start editing a new episode. So, although we are really toying with not doing Mom immediately, because it's going to take me a long time to do that, because it's such a wall of text. So we were really toying with maybe in the interim doing a quick episode. Gay Superboy. What do you think?
Yes, please lambast that, because I am so friggin' angry about that. You have no idea. Oh, I could spend a whole episode going off on that.
Maybe we should get you on the air and rant about that, very soon, because it's to the point now where it's just, I can't even. So.
Oh, I'm beyond that point. Like I am very overprotective of Superman and like that whole world of Superman. And when John Kent was created, I was like, I now have a superhero that I can show to my son. And I showed him Super Sons, and while he's not really into comics, he thought Damian Wayne was an asshole and he loved John Kent.
And that's cool that that was a character that you could show your son, and he would be about the same age. So I totally get why you'd be so mad. I mean, besides the fact that it's just tasteless in general.
There was no reason for it. It was literally a virtue signal, and I'm glad DC is getting called out on it now, because they did the same thing to Tim Drake. It was unnecessary, and finally people are starting to stand up and say enough is enough. Knock it off. So yeah.
Why is it that every kid has to be gay in the DCU?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Seriously, because not all children are like that. Even if they are gay or straight, that's not what they're reading the comic books for. They're trying to escape from life.
Well, I'm going to make a very, very blatant argument as to why all this gay shit needs to go in most entertainment. Not all, most. And the reason being is that in this day and age, homosexuality not this queer shit. Homosexuality is just a preference. It really is just a sexual preference. It isn't something secret. It isn't this hidden subculture that has to hide in the shadows. For the average American, homosexuality is just another sexuality. And we've all come to accept since the late 1990s that the difference between a homosexual person and everyone else is what happens in the bedroom, and that's it. That is it.
Exactly.
So no, I got a little bit more. There's more here. But if the only difference between a gay person and a straight person is what happens in the bedroom, how do you let the reader know they're gay other than showing you the shit you shouldn't be putting in a comic book? There's a reason most gay lit can't be shown to kids, because the only thing that makes it gay is it's porn.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. I mean,
Is this today's gay lit? Because I was going to say Portrait of Dorian Gray is a really good example of showing.
oh no, I mean modern lit.
Oh, okay.
Anything from the 90s on. I mean, when I was in San Francisco, that was a big issue. As they kept saying, "Oh, we've got to diversify the canon. There isn't enough gay lit in the canon." And
it's like, are you sure?
And first off, they would say, "Well, these books aren't explicitly gay." And I said, "What's explicitly gay?" And they'd always pick their books, and they may be good or bad. They all were erotica, and it's like, so you're telling me essentially, gay lit means you have to show dick and ass. That's it. So that is why the gay stuff is stupid. If it is just a sexual preference, the vast majority of what it means to be gay shouldn't really factor into storytelling. I mean, how many stories have we watched where we really need to know what they do in the bedroom? Seriously, where that's an actual necessary part of the story.
The subplot of the woman cop on The Wire?
Well, see, that is integral to her story.
Mm-hmm.
But what are they following? They're following her bad marriage,
mm-hmm.
her adoption of a kid. So, yeah.
And the fact that suddenly she's getting divorced and she's having to pay child support, and she can't see her kid. Her ex has taken the kid away from her.
So let's flip that. How many episodes of Super Friends did we have to have? Did we get a Lois Lane plot making it very clear that Superman's straight? Kids shows don't need this shit.
No, they don't. You know what was a good comment, or a gay couple that showed really well that they were a gay couple without getting gross? Apollo and Midnighter. Do you know what I'm talking about? From
yeah, I know. I actually never read that, so I couldn't say.
I only read some of it, and from what I saw, it was just, they were a regular gay couple. They just ended up being superheroes. It was originally supposed to be an insult towards Superman and Batman and being gay. I think they were created by Grant Morrison. If anybody says that, if that's wrong, correct me in the chat, please. But they just turned out to be like a normal gay couple. Like, wow. You know what I mean?
I mean, imagine if we had, Superboy, and it was just, he's gay.
I've got it. It's the fact that the ambiguously gay duo isn't gay enough anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what if his gay relationship wasn't, the only thing that really mattered about this character?
Yeah.
Then nobody'd be saying anything, would they? What if it was just this thing in the background of who he was?
Hitman Wanderer says it was Warren Ellis.
Okay, thank you.
So does Just a Passerby.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was Grant Morrison. They all bleed into the same writer at that point. They all write the same stuff. Garth Ennis.
I have the same problem.
Yeah. I was going to say, North Star from Alpha Flight and the X-Men was also a good gay character because he was gay. So fucking what? You know what made him so special is he was a douchebag Canadian. That was the whole point. So what? He was fucking gay. Nobody cared. He had a schizophrenic sister that he had to deal with more than anything. But to me, like, so what? He was gay. It was more that he was just a snobby rich asshole.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, I don't know why they've turned it into what it is. I don't
because
understand.
because they're not really wanting gay characters. What they want are queer characters, and queer entails a whole bunch of other stuff, including leftist politics, identity shit, weird fashion choices, and by all means, it includes normalizing really weird kinks.
Like armpit hair.
Yeah, and child drag queens.
Yeah.
Those are all wrapped up in queer culture. That's the difference. They don't want gay, they want queer.
You know
And I
what
don't think
sucks?
anybody would care if they were gay. I really don't.
Yeah, no one fucking cares. I don't care if you are gay, straight, bi, whatever. My whole deal is as long as you are not a dick, as long as you are not a pedophile, as long as you're not a psychotic murderer, I'm cool with you. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't matter. There, I've said my piece.
I think another one would be what?
I was just gonna read
Oh, go ahead.
Rednecks. Redneck says, "I admit I haven't seen the best of what we can get. I'm just thinking about on the Venture Brothers, Shore Leave and The Alchemist became a couple. Fans like both the characters."
Yeah, see, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Dude, Shore Leave was so good. That was such a good it was spoofing on Shipwreck,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
but the thing was, they were a legit gay couple. It wasn't what defined them.
No.
And I mean, Shore Leave was flaming. You know?
He was flaming and he could still one up what's his name? Brock. He could always
Yes.
make Brock look like an idiot. It was beautiful. He was one of my favorite characters on the Venture Brothers.
LK, Yishi hit it on the head. Yet if we call it queer, we get called homophobes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my take. The other thing is I still don't understand how the hell Superboy's going to fight global warming.
You're gonna punch it.
Yeah, he's going to punch it to death.
Not only that, he's dating a hacktivist.
Yeah.
The only way hacktivist has ever been used as a term by it's the same fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Who cares if you're a hacktivist?
Oh, so you
No
sit on
one
Twitter,
cares.
okay?
Yeah.
So you're a Twitter troll. Congrats.
Well, that's like being called an influencer. It's like, I've got this many, people following me. I'm an influencer. It's like, no, you're not. No, no. Victoria, what is your thought queer baiting? Do you think they exist?
My take on queer baiting is it's two different things. There is plenty of queer baiting going on now, and it's akin to token black. It's, oh, look, see, we're progressive. See? And it really is just an empty character there to fill space. But a lot of what's claimed as queer baiting is really these people bitching, saying, well, we claimed this character and you didn't make him queer.
That's what happened to Iceman, right?
Yeah, a lot of these characters, they'll look into it and they'll read into it. Like Velma. They're constantly claiming Velma's coded as queer.
Or My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and in both cases, no, Velma is just a chubby geek girl. That's
Wait,
it.
who in My Hero Academia is queer baiting?
Perv.
Yeah, the pervert.
Wait, the guy that has the green or the purple balls for his
Yeah,
hair?
they thought for a brief while, they thought he was queer.
Are you fucking kidding me? Apparently they had not read the manga or watched the show.
No.
That is the biggest
And they really
perv.
campaigned for this. And the creator of the book said, no, he's not queer. And they said, yes, he is. You're lying. And then they read the book and they came back and said, well, we don't want him.
I was like, nope, too late. You got him.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it is amazing to think that The Alchemist and Shore Leave on Venture Brothers was actually a very honest gay couple.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there was kind of some gay tension between, was it Billy and Mr. White
Oh, yeah.
as well,
Mhm.
which was pretty legit.
But again, it was more shown in how they interacted with each other. That
In fact, do you know who the Alchemist acted like? Hal.
yeah, he did.
He
act like
really
Hal.
did act like our friend Hal.
Yeah, our
Hal
pal
Borden.
Hal.
So yeah,
Bodden.
Cal Bodden, yeah, good writer, very good writer.
No, Bodner. Sorry.
Bodden.
Sorry, Hal.
But yeah, it's just so my take on queer baiting is a lot of it is they'll claim a character as queer that never was, and then say that's queer baiting. They never really actually just explicitly said it. It's like, no, Velma was never gay. Okay, Velma was just Velma.
She's just Velma. Come on. She fell in love with Johnny Bravo.
Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. I did not know that. That's cute. That really is. Because I remember for a while they paired her up with Shaggy, and I was like, ew, no, that's just
that
no.
wouldn't work.
No, there was a bumper, and then it actually bloomed into a crossover episode. And she had this huge crush on Johnny Bravo, and he didn't know what to do.
You know,
Which was
Ray
great.
Gillette's another great example
Yeah, Ray Gillette.
on Archer. And you know what? How many of us have met people like Ray?
Oh,
Plenty.
I've known plenty of people like Ray.
Oh, Ray's one of the best characters on the show, and he's like the hard luck case. Like all the bad shit happens to that poor man, and he just happens to be gay.
Yeah. The bionic legs.
Yes.
Wait, didn't he at one point have his hands transplanted with one of the villain who was black? So he's got like black man arms, yes, and bionic legs. He's like a cyborg now. Like I said, he's the hard luck case. All the bad shit happens to poor Ray Gillette.
Billy the Boy Genius is not gay. They have their backstory, I think, in season 4.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that they definitely had homoerotic tension through the series.
Yeah.
That is implied several times, but of course, those are the stand-ins for the creators.
Yeah.
You know that, right? That
I did
Billy
not
Quiz
know
Boy,
that. But
Billy
aren't they
Quiz
the
Boy
voices? Aren't they the voices of the
Yes,
two
they
characters?
are.
Yeah.
Billy Quiz Boy is what? Jackson Public.
Yeah.
And Mr. White is Doc.
Yeah.
And they're parodies of themselves. And that's why they play up this kind of weird homoeroticism because they find it funny.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
No, Kitty Pryde is not a lesbian. Jesus.
No, she is not.
No, that's a new thing that because Chris Claremont, I wish he hadn't have opened his mouth. I swear he did this to score points or something. But he claimed he'd always meant for Kitty and Rachel to get together in Excalibur. That that's what he was angling for. I never picked up on that. I don't buy it either.
Buy it.
Because they're
her
now
and Colossus. We know that.
Yeah, and Rachel was always, she never really was attracted to anyone, and then she slowly got attracted to Kurt. And they even ended up a couple of times being together in the comics, and it was like, finally. Then they fucked that up too.
Everything gets fucked up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's call it a night. Again, all the things we advertised, links in the description. Please, by all means, please, if you like audiobooks, pick up Whispers from the Abyss and leave a review. We're very proud of it, and we'd like to get the word out because Audible sure isn't going to tell anyone. I think, what else?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Janelle, as always, time goes by way too quickly.
Yes, I agree.
Meetups.
Yes, I agree.
We got to get you out here for a visit again.
Yes.
I'd come visit you, but I kind of don't think I ever want to return to California.
Understandable. You guys understand our circumstances why we're here. Like,
Yes.
yeah, that's why we always try to get out to Arizona.
I think the other thing is I kind of don't want to go back to San Diego because I don't want to possibly cross paths with people I'm related to.
Yeah.
That's understandable too. But I live in East County, so if they don't live in East County, you are. Yeah, I live right on the border of the suburb and the sticks. So
yeah, my brother's in North County, so
okay, no, yeah,
your brother's in Riverside.
Did they move to Riverside?
No.
They're in Escondido.
No. They're not in Escondido. They are in.
It doesn't matter. Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.